What up, fam? Today we're going to be discussing the XP Reward Path program, in particular the 5 Signature Series players that they have released so far. So you'll be able to get all 5 of these by leveling up in the game. Silver level 1 gives you the first option, which you pick one of the 5. Gold level 1 you get the second option, diamond level 1 the third, and diamond level 100 you will be getting the last 2 options. You cannot sell these players, so do not pick the same player more than once. Now, my list or my rankings from best to worst go by which position in the game is the weakest and which position is easiest to replace. So my first pick, silver 1, is going to be Joe Morgan. Second base is usually weak. I know that Brett Boone is a World Series reward, and some people are going to go ahead and use him as the second baseman to start it off at. But I feel like Joe Morgan is a much better card and most likely is going to be one of the end game second basemen. After that, I have center field Duke Snider as my second pick. He's overall the best all-around player out of all 5 of these guys. And center field, once again, it's not a position where you're going to find a lot of good guys besides a Mike Trout, let's say, with good power as Duke Snider. So Duke Snider, he's coming in at number 2 for me. Number 3 is interchangeable. You can either go with Frank Thomas or Brooks Robinson here, but at the end of the day, it's easier to replace a first baseman than it is to replace a third baseman. And the fielding at third base is going to be critical in my opinion, since they said that there is a humongous emphasis on fielding this year. So Brooks Robinson is my go-to guy as my third pick, and then my final 2 options is going to be Frank Thomas as number 4, and then of course Tony Gwynn as number 5. Frank Thomas is obviously the best hitter out of all 5, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of players that you can stick at first base that are great hitters that will have similar fielding to Frank Thomas. Maybe not similar power, but it's going to be close at least. Last but not least, of course, is Tony Gwynn. Him, at the end of the day, yes, there are a lot of good right fielders, and yes, it might be a little bit harder to replace him rather than Frank Thomas, but he's a contact hitter. And until we know for sure that contact hitters are actually viable this year, I'm going to keep Tony Gwynn at last, but he wouldn't go over Frank Thomas or Brooks Robinson or even Duke Snider or Joe Morgan regardless, so I'm going to keep him last, and that's basically my list. It might help some of you guys out. If it did, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that red subscribe button as well, and I'll catch you all in the next one.